Hello everyone, I just want to start this video by saying a huge thank you to every single one of you who has checked out Into You Podcast. It's a little project that I started like a few weeks back now when I was in isolation, and I kind of just wanted to put something together where I could do something that I've wanted to do for a long time in podcasts, which is just to speak to people, get their stories, talk to them about their lives. What have they gone through? What's the trials and tribulations they've gone through to get from where they were to where they are now? And you know what? I just really enjoy it. And I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has listened, everyone who has checked out the YouTube videos, all of that. Honestly, I really, really do appreciate it. And I hope you've enjoyed it as much as what I have. And now I'm adding something to the podcast, and this is where I need your help. That's right, all of you out there. So, some of you who have listened to the latest episode that I did with Zachary Patton Garcia, we do talk a lot about storytelling. And we both love it so much, and that's something that we vibed up a little bit there. But I really always have loved storytelling. And in particular, listening to other people's stories, getting other people to tell me their stories. I find that stuff so fascinating. Now this is where you come in. I've wanted to do this for a while with Into You Podcast, and I think now is the right time after discussing it with Zach and kind of throwing a few ideas around, but I want your stories. So basically, do you have a story that you've wanted to share that you enjoy telling, or maybe you haven't told for a long time or have just never told at all? Something about your life, something that's happened to you. Now, I know a lot of people get apprehension about being on video and we're talking and everything like that, and that's fine. What I would ask is you to write up your story and email it to me. And if you don't mind, I would love to read it out on the podcast. So this is like a new section of the podcast that I want to bring to it, where on weeks where I maybe don't have a guest, what I'd love to do is let you be the guest, let your story be the guest, and let it be heard. So if you type it up to me in an email, I will read out the whole story and just share it with the world, and maybe talk about, where it took place and when it took place and everything like that. So I would love to get more of you guys involved in Into You Podcast. Now, the way you can do that is this. You can email the story to me, and what I would advise is, one tip I would definitely give is details. Tell me everything about this story. Now, tell me if it's going to somewhere brand new, tell me all about that place. What does it look like? What can you hear? What are the smells like? Everything like that. If you're having a conversation with somebody, what are the exact words that were said? What did that person say to you, and what did you say in return? And as well, tell me about, your emotional kind of state. How were you feeling? How did that conversation make you feeling? How did you feel when you got to this brand new place? Tell me all of that detail, because for me, that makes the best stories, and I cannot wait to read them. So, in order to get involved, all you need to do is type up that story, type it all out in all of its detail, and send it to intoyoupodcast@gmail.com. I'll leave the details down below as well as to where you can send that. But yes, please do send those stories to me. If you want any help or any guidance on how to tell the best version of your story, just email me and let me know, and I'll gladly sit down and help you go through that to make sure that we're getting the best version of the story to tell on the podcast. So yes, this is just a little video update. I just want to say a huge thank you again to everybody who's checked out Into You Podcast. Honestly, guys, it means the absolute world to me, and I hope that you're enjoying it as much as I am making it for everybody out there. So yes, I cannot wait to get you guys more involved in the podcast and read your stories. So if you have any questions at all, please email them to me or leave them in the comments down below. I look forward to reading your stories. Thank you so much, and until next time.